Yeah, so we are starting with it, and I'm giving 5 minutes to read this passage. Okay, I'm giving you 5 minutes to read this passage so that you can read it in 5 minutes, and then we would start with the questions, right? Okay. What you need to do after reading it is go through, right? For example, if I'm going through the first paragraph, I would need to define what has been talked about in the first paragraph. I can do it in Hindi, I can do it in any language I like, but it should be correct. Okay, so this exercise would help us in the first question. So please do it in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, I'm starting the timer on my end, you can start the timer on your end. Fine. Okay, just a second, let me start the timer on my end. Okay, I hope you all have the I hope you all have the file. So I would start the timer here. Just a second. 5 minutes, right? Okay. I will share the clock with you. Yes, your time has started. Okay. Fine. The time is about to end. Okay, you have 30 seconds more. Now we have read. You have 30 seconds more. You have 30 seconds more to reiterate. And then we will move to the second question. First question, I think so. Yep. Okay. So let us move. Let us move to the first question. Okay. Keep your files open so that we can do the first question in the least amount of time. What should be? Okay. So give me the answer of the first question. Okay. I am setting the timer of 2 minutes here. Okay. Open your own files. I have provided the files. Okay. I am providing the files again for those who have joined late in the comments section of this class. I hope everyone has received it. So you can open it, those who have joined late. Okay. Now, done with the first question. Okay, just a minute. Done. Okay. So I'm giving you 1 minute more. I would do it with the timer. Just a second. Now. Okay. So the time has started. Okay. The time's up. Now, your answers, please. Right. We are pushing ourselves, so I won't be allowing you extra time. Okay. Now, yep. Fill in your answer so that you would have some answerability to it, right? Otherwise, you would make some or the other, right, other excuse for yourself and in your mind. Okay. It doesn't matter for me whether you make the excuse or not, but it would make it, you would make it for yourself. So don't do that for yourself, right? Fill in the answers. Okay. Or write it on your paper if you are not comfortable with sharing it with me. Okay. So I have got A, B, D, A, B, D as the answer. So I hope you have all have, right? You all have gone through C and eliminated it. Anyone who wants C as a considerable answer? Anyone who wants C as a considerable answer? No. Okay. So A, B, and D are the considerable answers. Okay. Now the problem with this as I would, okay, what I would be doing here is to eliminate the parts which are common so that I have least amount of words to deal with. Now, okay, same group of people has consistently process adopted by the same group of people. Okay, so this and this, what is the difference here? What is the difference here? Let me know. This is talking about the process. This is talking about the same group of people and same group of people. The subject is different, right? Since D is the most different one, and most of the, let us say 80% of the answers, right, which are there in the RCs or in any paper, right, would have close options as the answer. So I take that method as my own. Okay. To reach to the answers in lesser amount of time. Now, let us see, process adopted by the same group of people to confuse the public and discredit the scientists whose. Now, were we talking about the process? Were we talking about the process in the paper or in the RC? Were we talking about the process in the RC? How many of you say yes? How many of you say no? Okay, I have got the first answer. Check it out again if we were. Okay, so for those who have said yes, I would move again to the passage. What are we talking about? Today's campaigners against action. Have we talked about the process here? No. Okay. Here we have talked about the defended of tobacco giants, right? We are not talking about the process here. Are we talking about the process here? No. Are we talking about the process here? The process has only been talked about in 2 paragraphs, and that makes it narrow. That too, not as the main component. So that you have made a mistake here when you were choosing these, right? When you were choosing this. Okay. Now, this had a problem, right? This had a problem. On the basis of the subject, this is narrow. Okay. Now let us move ahead. A and B. To show that the same group of people have consistently, I can try to confuse the public. Okay. Altogether eliminated and discredit the scientists whose insights are helping to save by drawing support from people with big money and people in big publications, and discredit the scientists whose insights are helping. Let me clear it out. I would choose it from here to here and here to here. Now compare. What were we talking about? Which part has been talked about in most of the parts of the passage? Let me know, please. Okay. Yeah. Discredit the scientist, right? Discredit the scientist has been talked, but it has not been included here. So B option would be based on which trap? B option would be based on which trap? So Shant, C option is opposite, right? It is opposite to what the author had been talking about. So this is narrow, right? This is narrow. This has been talked about in one paragraph, only one paragraph. So B would be eliminated and A would start, right? A would be the right answer. Understood? So any efficiency for those who had gone back to the each paragraph and reiterated the ideas in their mind or written the ideas on their paper had some, okay, did you have some easiness while reaching to the answer? Because D is talking about the process. It is not talking about the people, same group of people. We were not talking about the process adopted by the same group of people. Okay, Karthik. Done? Okay, so did you feel any easiness while reaching to the answer after reiterating the idea of each and every paragraph in your mind after reading the passage? Right. So this is the process that you need to have to reach to the answer of main idea properly. Okay. So now, since we were talking about the tone and we have got the options here, I won't take the help of the options while deciding for myself what was the tone of this passage. What was the tone of this passage? Okay. So first, okay, first to learn about the tone yourself, you need to make a list of the tones. Okay. Okay. So I can say that, okay, I can say that, okay, many of you are giving the answers on the basis of this question. Okay. So there is factual. Was it factual? Anyone who needs an explanation for the factual option? Anyone who needs explanation for the factual option? Factual is those passages in which the author is not saying that the person is wrong or right. Okay. Or he is in favor of something or not. Right. That is factual. He would only mention facts. For example, if I have been writing something about the parts of a plant, right? Parts of a plant. So those parts of a plant, okay, if I am describing them, then that would be a factual passage. Understood? Now, descriptive is the same, right? Descriptive is the same. Okay, I am describing something. I am describing something. So these are both the same. Okay. So A and B are out. Now between critical and opinionated, what is the difference here? What is the meaning of critical? Okay. So most of you would have a certain difficulty here. So if this is critical, right? If this is critical, I would provide you the next passage. Okay, the next passage, and then we would answer this question. Meanwhile, let us do the second one. Okay. I need to get the distinctions between the different tones in your mind. So I would be talking about critical and another passage which is critical, and then I would ask whether it is critical or opinionated. Okay, fine. Now let us the difference between descriptive and factual is that factual might be They are same, right? They are same. There is no difference. In my opinion, there is no difference between factual and descriptive. Okay. In factual also, we would be describing something. Okay. But okay. In factual also, we would be describing something. Okay. They would be about something, right? We cannot say that they are different. Fine. Okay. You should eliminate options first on the basis of the options which are far away from the passage. Okay. When we would read the passage, right? When we are reading the passage, we are seeing that, okay, he is using these words. What is amazing is that. What does it mean? That this is his opinion, right? Okay. Right. This is the opinion that he's talking about. Now, blatant error here, blatant error, an extreme form of expression, right? So these words make us feel that this is not factual and this is not descriptive. Okay. A critical, let me tell you the meaning of critical, right? Critical has two meanings. One, as you guessed earlier, is about being critical of something, right? Being or talking about someone in negative sense, right? Talking about someone in negative sense. Talking about someone in negative sense. The other meaning would be analyzing something with positives and negatives, right? Have you heard the meaning? Have you heard the word critique? Have you heard the word critique? What is the meaning of critique? What is the meaning of critique? Anyone who can answer me? No, critique is not negative statement. We would have to see it through another passage that I would be taking. So which one should be the answer of this? Right? Critical, it was negative. So I would say that it was critical rather than opinionated. Opinionated can be positive or negative, but it was short negative. So C would be the answer. Okay. We would have a look at the distinction between this and another option when you will be taking another passage. Okay. Done. So the answer would be critical. We have gone through the option elimination as well as the meanings of two of these words, right? Write it down. Write it down when you are taking this. Okay. I hope I'm visible here. Now, okay. So can we move to the other one? Do the second question. Do the second question. Why eliminate D for which one? Okay. So I hope this is good. Okay. So do the second question. I think some people have already done this. I'm giving you 1 minute. Done. I hope it's done. Okay. Now let us move to the second question, right? We were on the second question. So which one should be the answer of this? I'm getting A, D. Okay, most of you have chosen. Okay. Some of you have chosen A, some of you have chosen, one of you have chosen B, and most of you have chosen D. Okay, let us see. Let us see. They have, okay, well, what is the question? Which of the following is not among the criticisms leveled by the author at the group that opposes action on climate change? They are supported by groups or lobbies that have vested interests. Have they been supported or not? It has been mentioned in the second paragraph, I think so. That is why I asked you to reiterate, right? Reiterate it in your mind. If you have not, you still have the chance. Okay. Now he has talked about individuals, organizations, whatever, right? He had here, some here, backed by the same lobbies, individuals and organizations that sided with tobacco industry to discredit the science linking smoking and lung cancer. Okay, so this says that they are backed by some institutions which have vested interests, and as we know the world, they might have the vested interest of the organization represent them, but the group or lobbies that have vested interest, yes, they have been. So this won't be the answer. Okay, their arguments on various issues tend to be similar. Their arguments on various issues tend to be similar. Okay, he has said that in the fourth or fifth paragraph. That is why reiteration is again important. Okay, yes. But then I recall the link, this line of attack, right? This line of attack. So this is how, by noticing these words, I reiterate or recall the topic of the passages. Fine. So second passage, second paragraph has also been given. Okay. Sorry, the second option has also been given. Their methods are successful in causing confusion. This has been given in the last sentence, I think so. Okay. Causing the confusion. Yes. Delay and confusion. Done. So D would be the right answer. If you remember all the gist of all the paragraphs, you would have gone through the paragraph, gone to the paragraph, and then gone to the right answer. Understood? Those who had the problem in reaching to the option D. Any problem here? Okay, let us move to the fourth question now. Let us move to the fourth question now. Answer the fourth question. I am switching on this for you. Okay. So you have 2 minutes. Okay. As soon as it reaches to 1, I would start you to stop. I would ask you to stop. Okay, I have got the first answer. So time's up. Let us move to the question. Okay. Now, fourth one. Yes, what is common in author's defense of both IPCC report and the case of stolen emails? Okay. So we are here to push ourselves. We are not here to do questions in ease, right? So I would be giving you lesser than usual time. Understood? Now, which would be the answer? I've got 14 answers only among 33. Okay, one is trying to skip. If you would try to skip, right, write it down. Write it down if you are trying to skip. Okay, skipping is a really important step that you would need to waste your time, to save your time. Okay, save your time and to reduce the -1 marking. Okay, I hope many of you are facing this challenge. Okay, so most of you have given me B, D, C. Okay, B, D, C, A. So all the options have been taken, right? What should we do as the first step in this question? What should we do as the first step in this question? Let me know. What should we do as the first step in this question? The first step would be check this information if there is any in the passage. Now, let us see. Can you tell me the passage number that I should go? Here it has been given. When the emails of IPCC error were brought to light, editorials writers, whatever, launched a vicious campaign, right? They claimed that scientists were fabricating. I thought at the time, given that scientists under attack have devoted their lives to finding the truth and have certainly not become rich relative to peers in finance and business. Now, here he comes to the line of attack. Okay. So on the basis of these two paragraphs, read it out. Okay. On the basis of these two paragraphs, can we say that? Okay. Can we say that? And this one, this sentence, right? It should be understood that IPCC issues thousands of pages of text. No doubt errors in those pages would be there, but they did what? Okay, they did what? They took only parts of those information. So which one should be the correct one on the basis of these three paragraphs? Let me know. Which one should be the correct one? The only option that goes with this line of thought is that D, because these are small part of larger effort and the criticism does not reflect on the subject as a whole. This is the answer that I would be going towards, right? And it would not have been possible if you would not have, right, if you would not have gone back to the passage to check. So always go back to the passage to check. Okay, how much time would it take? It would take at most, I think so, 1 minute to read, right? But we are reaching to the right answer in these type of questions in lesser amount of time, and there is lesser amount of -1 marks, right? Now the fifth one, I would give you around 2.5 minutes to do this, right? 2.5 minutes to do this. Let us take 2 minutes, right? Let us try to push ourselves. I would give you 2 minutes. Okay, let us try to push ourselves. Yep. Do not be in a haste if you are doing this. Okay, time is up. I've got 12 answers. Okay, I have got 12 answers. I hope you might have written your answer. Okay. So I have got answer as D, D, B, C. A has not been selected by any one of you. Okay. Let us move to the passage now. Okay. So we were doing this. Just a minute. Fine. We were doing this, right? I hope this is visible. Okay. So what has been written there? What is the first step that we need to take here to do this question? What is the first step that we need to take? Yes, the subject. Notice the subject, right? There is no doubt that anonymity leads people to act out in ways they normally wouldn't. Okay. Now we would know how. For many, this means increased antisocial behavior and in comment section, an uncharacteristic tendency to insult and attack. Now this from here to here is okay, is adding one word, that is disinhibition, right? Okay, which is another example of uncharacteristic tendency, right? So we have taken all the points in consideration. Okay, uncharacteristic tendency, anonymity, right, and disinhibition, where in comment section, and antisocial behavior. Now all else is just trash. Okay, we have noticed the subjects which should be in the answer. First option, the roots of the online disinhibition effect lie in the antisocial behavior of the people. Would be the correct one? The roots of the online disinhibition effect lie in the antisocial. The second step would be to read all the options. Okay, do not try to take the option in the first go. Okay, the roots of the online disinhibition effect lie in the antisocial behavior of the people. Okay, anonymity encourages people to display their natural instincts of antisocial behavior. Okay, when communication is anonymous, people frequently display antisocial behavior. Online disinhibition effects leads to out of control customers with operative online. And I think all of you can see what is wrong with D. What is wrong with D? Okay. Now, first of all, I am seeing this out of control customers with operative online posters and road edging dive. Okay. Online disinhibition effect leads to. Okay. Now they are not generalizing as the author was generalizing in the first and the second sentence. This is too specific, right? Too specific and narrow. Fine. I hope each one of you agrees with me. Okay. General and specific are the types of arguments that we should notice. There is no doubt that anonymity leads people to act out in ways they normally wouldn't, right? For many, this means increased antisocial behavior, and for many has been given. Remember which words we are using. Many, most, etc. are important. Now D is out of the question. Okay, because it is more specific. See, when communication is anonymous, people frequently display antisocial behavior. Okay, when communication is anonymous, people frequently display antisocial behavior. If this is the answer, why is this the answer? And if this is not, what is the problem with this? Okay, I think it should be the answer. Right, could be an answer. That is why I'm taking it. Anonymity encourages people to display their natural instincts of antisocial behavior. Now, the two words that I would check is that anonymity has been always given. Encourages is the word that I am contentional with, people to display their natural instincts, right, of antisocial behavior. We know that antisocial behavior has been talked about. Instincts, okay, I have to check that. Encourages people. Okay, let us see. Let us check natural first. Okay, let us check natural first. Is it natural? The first sentence says that they normally wouldn't. Would it be natural? No, it won't be the natural one, right? It won't be the natural one. So you have to get into habit of choosing these sentences, these words that are there in the options. Okay, precisely when you would be able to do it. Okay, eliminating all the things that you have seen in the passage for sure, then you would reach to the answer quite correctly. Now, A1, the roots of the online disinhibition effect lie in the antisocial behavior of the people. Okay, was it the cause and effect, right? Since we are choosing the roots, that means it is a cause and effect. I hope you all know what cause and effects are. I hope you all know what cause and effects are. Okay, so this is saying that online disinhibition effect, right, is caused by antisocial behavior. Okay, let us check this. Let us check this whether this is true or not. Okay. Leads, anonymity leads to people to act out in ways they normally wouldn't. Let us see what has been given. Online disinhibition effect lie in antisocial behavior of the people. Was it online disinhibition effect that was leading to this, or this was leading to this? The option is saying the opposite of what has been talked in the passage. I hope you agree with me. I hope you can see this, right? So the cause and effect relationship, whenever you are given cause and effect, should check for this option, right? Check for this type of trap. Okay, so A, B, and D are out when communication is anonymous, right? People frequently display antisocial behavior. Cause and effect relationship precisely established. Okay, these are the type of questions that frequently appear in the paper. Understood? Understood, right? Can we move to the next question? How much time would you need to take for? How much time would you need to take for it, sorry. No, I won't give you 6 minutes. I'm giving you 5 minutes again. Okay, there are 4 questions only, so I would give you 5 minutes. Okay, let me switch on the timer. Push yourself. If you would be pushing yourself, right, you would be able to understand the mistakes that you are making. Remember that. C was the correct answer for the summary. Yes. Two minutes remaining. Remember, you need to reiterate the answers in your own words before moving to the answers. Make sure you have checked all the ideas of the passages. Done. Okay. Now let us move to the passage. Okay. So which words would you notice in this passage? First of all, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Yes, passive aggressive behavior. We are talking about the passive aggressive behavior and its characteristics. So there would be characteristics mentioned, right? I would have to write that. Just a second. Yes. So let us write the characteristics. Biggest irritant in being a passive aggressor, he doesn't follow through his agreement and doesn't follow through on his agreements and promises. Okay. All of the points given after this, right, are synonymous with this sentence. Right. He often ignores reality of irresponsibility and withdrawal. He denies evidence, whatever. Okay. Let us move to the next paragraph. Which word should we check here? Uses vague language, right? Inconsistency and ambiguity. Can't take criticism, right? When confronted about his inability to live up to his promises. Okay. Okay. Sulks and uses silence. Okay. Inability to live up to his promises. Okay. When he doesn't follow through, he puts the blame on his partner. Done. Next one. He may have multiple relationship, right? Confused about which woman he wants. Okay. He feels the demand too much of him and resists to overt and subtle ways and feel deprived if he must give in to others. Feels deprived if he must give in to others. Desperately wants attention, but fears being swallowed up by the partners. Let us move ahead, right? I think all of the points have been. Closeness and intimacy may make him feel vulnerable, panicked, bringing forth his deepest fears of dependency upon a woman. Again, dependency has been talked about, so I would write dependency here. Okay. I have seen that dependency has been talked about in most of the passages. So I would talk about wanting attention and dependency. Feels deprived, again dependency, right? All points covered. Why I have written this point? Because there is so much of data that I cannot remember it through right? Okay, let us move ahead. So the first question needs to be answered. How much time do you need? I'm giving you 1 minute. Which of the following be an apt theme for the passage? Which of the following would be an apt theme for the passage? Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes for this since, okay, since it would be a medium to difficult level. Okay, which type of question is this? Which type of question is this? First of all, it is important to notice which type of question this is. To make an idea or to reach to an idea whether it is a medium to difficult level or an easy question. Fact based are relevantly easy to these questions, right? So it would be medium to difficult. Okay, main idea questions remain mostly medium to difficult. So let's take 2 minutes for this. After 2 minutes, okay, in the paper when we would have taken 2 minutes, we won't go past that. Why? Because you might have noticed, we might have noticed in the paper, right? Those who have given paper and who have taken 2 minutes plus in those questions, how many questions and what is the accuracy level if you take 2 minutes plus in questions, in all those questions that you have taken 2 minutes in? What remains the accuracy level? Bolo. What remains the accuracy level in those questions in which you have taken 2 minute plus? 30% तो नहीं होगा, ठीक है ना? No, it doesn't remain 50-50. 2 minutes plus वाले क्वेश्चन में it would remain around तुम्हारा 90% गलत होगा, ठीक है ना? हाँ, तो 20 to 30% ले लो, ठीक है? 20% if you have taken 2 minutes plus, right? In those questions in which you have taken 2 minutes plus, the desperation takes over and you get a wrong answer. Okay, कि इतना टाइम तो लगा दिया, अब क्या करेंगे? समझ में आया? तो ये वाला बात ध्यान में रखना है कि you need to know which type of question this is, whether it is a medium, difficult or an easy question. ठीक है, चलो, let us move to the question. Okay, I'm giving you 1 minute to do this. Push yourself. Right, eliminate those options which are not quite correct. Those who are leaving, please be here so that we would be able to do tenses today itself, right? You won't be able to do it afterwards. Afterwards remains afterwards. Not the tenses, but the tones. Okay, the time's up. Let us see. If you had reiterated it in your mind, right, you might have got the right answer. Let us see. Okay. Now, the first question. Which behavioral tendency of a passive aggressive man? The behavioral tendencies of a passive aggressive man can be correct, right? The way in which the passive aggressive man treats a partner. Okay, the way. Here, the difference is in between these subjects, right? Now, the reasons for a man's passive aggressive behavior with a partner. Were we talking about the reasons? Were we talking about the reasons? Yes or no? Were we talking about the reasons? No, right? Which type of passage, which was the tone of this passage? He was describing, right? He was describing. Mostly he was describing, right? I can see that he was describing something. Okay, so I would not say the reasons for a man's passive aggressive behavior with a partner. Okay, even if he was describing, I cannot say that he was giving the reasons. Okay, let us see the next one. C is easily eliminatable. Now, the object of affection of a passive aggressive man. The object of the attention. Has he talked about the object of the attention? No. Okay. The way in which the behavioral tendencies, which one would be the right one? The way in which passive aggressive man treats a partner, the behavioral tendencies of a passive aggressive man. Let me know. Okay, most of you are going for A. Most of you are going for A. Fine. A and B are really confusing, right? A and B are really confusing. Okay, the way in which the passive aggressive man treats a partner and behavioral tendency of a passive aggressive man. What step should be taken now? The step that we should take is to move to the passage. This is easy, right? Okay, this is easy. After this passage, we will talk for a bit. So not worry if you are getting bored. Okay, so what were the options here? The behavioral tendencies of a passive aggressive man. Okay, the way in which the passive aggressive man treats a partner. So we have to check whether partner is constant in all the options or not. He chooses a woman, which will, yes, partner is consistent. He dodges responsibility, insisting big projects. Someone else tries to finish them. He often ignores the irresponsibility and withdrawal. Okay, fine, partner is not there. Sandbag the partner. Okay, again the partner has come. Okay, again the partner has come. We are keeping one committed relationship and can't understand why women get so angry with him. Swallowed up by the partner. Again partner has come. Fine. Okay, so I think on the basis of this, on the basis of these reasons that I have given, or these patterns that I have given, which one should be the right answer? Which one should be the right answer? B should be the right answer, right? Again and again, partner has been the central part of the main passage. So B should be the right answer. The behavioral tendencies of a passive aggressive man. Okay, this would be a bit broad. Any questions here? Any questions here?
Sir, in this question, you eliminated the C option, the reasons for a man's passive-aggressive behavior with a partner. But sir, the author has talked about those reasons. Like in the last two paragraphs, he describes that he has strong fears of intimacy deep in his unconscious mind, and there are three more reasons which I don't remember. That is why I was confused between B and C.
Okay, but fears being swallowed up by the partner. He cannot be alone, live without a woman. So, see, here he is talking, he is using, right? He is using wants attention, right? Feels, is confused, right? All these are factual, right? This language is not an example of cause and effect. Understood? Okay, ठीक है? ये example कैसे होता cause and effect का? It would have been example of a cause and effect when we would have used because, as, right, reason, etc. Understood? So these structural entities, which are called tenses and clauses, are really important to reach to the answer, right? Okay, fine. The things that we call conjunctions. सबको conjunctions पता है ना? Anyone who doesn't know about the conjunctions? बोलो. Anyone who doesn't know about the conjunctions? Okay, anyone who doesn't know about the conjunctions, find them in adverbial clauses, right? Adverbial clauses. Notice which conjunction is depicting what. On the basis of that, you would be in an easy position to reach to the right answer. Understood? The one who had C as a prospective answer. बताओ.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना? समझ में आ गया? तो most of you are making that mistake. Most of you are making this mistake. ठीक है ना? चलो. Second one, which of the following cannot be inferred as a characteristics of passive aggressive man? Would you like to do this question? First of all, would you like to do this question? Okay, read the options once and let me know. Read the options one and let me know. सबसे पहले जरूरी ये होता है कि हम ये डिसाइड करें whether this question might be difficult or not. ठीक है, उसके बाद we would go through all the options, right? And then we would notice whether the options are also difficult or not. तब जाके question difficult बनता है. Then only we can say whether it is a difficult question in real terms or not. Fine. Okay, most of them are saying that they would leave. Okay, but I would need to discuss it. So I am not going to give you the time, but I am going to discuss it. ठीक है ना? चलो देख लेते हैं difficult question है कि नहीं है ना? चलो, पता नहीं है 7-8 लोग कहाँ भाग गए. I think they are not interested in doing this. Fine. Okay, so the second question says that which of the following cannot be inferred as a characteristics of passive aggressive man? An unrealistic assessment of his own capabilities. Okay, difficult. The feeling of anger which is not openly displayed. Okay, I think we can eliminate B, the feeling of anger which is not openly displayed. He has talked about it. How many of you concur with me? Have you seen this? Right? Yeah, Arpit. Okay. He was agreeing with me. Okay. B is out. A tendency to send out mixed signal to a partner. We have read this. Right? We have read this. Let us see. C. We have read this. C. Okay. C. Mixed signals. Inconsistency and ambiguity. You can all see this. Inconsistency and ambiguity. So C is also out. C is also out. So our underlining or writing worked. An unrealistic assessment of his own capabilities, a need for attention along with fear of intimacy. He had the need for attention. He had a fear of intimacy. In the last paragraph, I think so. Okay. In the last paragraph, I think so. So only A option remains, an unrealistic assessment of his own capabilities. We didn't talk about, right, this thing as per the underlined sentences, right? We have all underlined the characteristics, right? On the basis of the fact that they were talking about the characteristics. So A would be the right answer.
Sir.
हाँ.
सर ये भी दिया हुआ है ना एक जगह कि he takes on big projects but doesn't follow through. सर तो उसकी वजह से ये भी तो जाएगा कि अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज की वो क्या कहते हैं exaggerated expectations हैं.
नहीं, उसका मतलब ये भी हो सकता है. अब देखो यहाँ पे ना मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स चूज करने की कोशिश क्या करो. ठीक है, दूसरा फैक्टर क्या हो सकता है इसके लिए, ये बताओ. व्हाट कैन बी द अदर फैक्टर फॉर चूजिंग समथिंग?
ग्रैब अटेंशन.
सिंपल सी बात है. सब लोग क्या असेसमेंट करके ही प्रोजेक्ट लेते हैं? अपनी असेसमेंट करके? बोलो.
नहीं सर,
नहीं लेते ना. सिंपल सी बात है. तो यहाँ पे क्या है? देयर इज एम्बिग्यूटी. ठीक है, यहाँ पे क्या है? देयर इज एम्बिग्यूटी इन दिस ऑप्शन. सो वी कैन नॉट चूज दिस ऑप्शन फॉर श्योर. ठीक है, बट बी सी एंड डी तो दिए हुए हैं. ठीक है, दे कैन बी इन्फर्ड, दे हैव बीन गिवन. cannot be inferred is an easier type of inference question. ठीक है, क्योंकि इसमें अपने को पता होता है कि कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाएगा. और जब ये ऑप्शन दिया हो, when this option has been given, you need to check whether it has been already stated outrightly, right? Already stated outrightly or not. अगर already stated होगा outrightly, then it would not be the answer. ठीक है, वहां पे फंस जाते हो कई लोग inference में. तो inference में क्या क्या होता है? inference में we need to think about these options B, C and D and A right? In these terms, first, it should not be outrightly given, right? Outrightly given. Okay. Second, you need to eliminate to reach to the answer for sure. And third, you need to check the answer that you have chosen. Without these steps, you might go wrong in inference questions. Cannot be inferred is easier version of inference questions. So this question should have been done. ठीक है, इसको छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए था. ठीक है ना? चलो. Options were easy here. Third one, the tone of the passages. The tone of the passage is right. ठीक है. Whenever we use simple present, what does it mean? Simple present सबको पता है ना? Whenever we use simple present, what does it mean? What does it mean? Whenever we use simple present, that means we are talking about habits, right? And which is a fact. Okay. So all these things take descriptive option as the, give descriptive option as the final answer, not derogatory, analytical, and narrative. Okay. We would do one passage in the second part. Okay. The second session of this day. उसमें क्या करेंगे? We would take 2 to 3 paragraphs, right? और सब में हर एक का tone अलग होगा. So that is also a real question that would make your tone assessment quite good. ठीक है, इतना समझ में आ गया? Now to the fourth question. Should we do the fourth question or not? Would you like to do it or skip it? Would you like to do it or skip it? Okay, fourth question skip. Okay, according to the passage, which of the following can be inferred as a cause of passive aggressive? Now he has given inferred as a cause of. Fine. Okay. So he has not outrightly given the cause, but we have to infer the cause. The lack of responsibility along with desire to frustrate others and create anger in them. Okay. The deep-rooted fears about intimacy with a woman, which would later cause pain. Okay. The fear arising from belief that intimacy and emotional connection can lead to dependency and destruction of self. Lack of intimacy with parents, which results in fear of intimacy with others. Okay. Did we talk about the parents here? Did we talk about the parents here? Yes or no? We didn't talk about the parents. I think we didn't talk about the parents. Let me see. Okay. Let me see whether we talked about the parents or not.
So it was mentioned.
Okay, we talked about his parents. Okay, he needs an adversary whose expressions and demands he can resist as he plays out the dance he learned from his parents. So let us see whether the reference to his parents is in right terms or not. Lack of intimacy with parents. What was given there? Learned from his parents. So can we eliminate this? Yes. The fear of arising from the belief that intimacy and emotional connection can lead to dependency and destruction of self. This was given in the last paragraph, I think so. Right, let us move to the last paragraph. Okay. Multiple relationship. He was confused, feels deprived if he must give in to others. He feels others demand too much of him, so resist in overt and subtle ways, and feels deprived if he must. Okay. Live without a woman in his life and can't be the partner emotionally. He caught a catch at 22. Wanting affection but avoiding it because fears it as his description. Now, wanting affection and avoiding it because has been used here. I told you about cause and effect. Now because has been used here. If yes, has his own destruction. Now we have to check whether destruction has been given it here or not. Let us see. Destruction of self. Any other place at which destruction has been given? Lack of responsibility. doesn't along with the frustrate others and create anger within. A is outrightly out on this ground. D was already out. The deep-rooted fears about intimacy with a woman, which would later cause pain. Okay, destruction of self not included. C should be the right answer on the basis of this point only. Understood? Understood? क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 में ए एंड डी में क्या डिफरेंस है? ओके, ए एंड डी में डिफरेंस ये होता है व्हेन आई नरेट आई यूज द वर्ड आई. ओके, आई सॉ दैट. हैव यू वॉच्ड फॉरेस्ट गम? हैव यू वॉच्ड फॉरेस्ट गम? ओके, लाल सिंह चड्ढा का वही देख लो ट्रेलर, ठीक है. ओके, तो लाल सिंह चड्ढा का ट्रेलर देख लो. नॉट अ कंपेरेबल मे बी टू फॉरेस्ट गम, दो कॉपीड फ्रॉम इट, ठीक है ना. तो उसमें क्या बोलता है? ही नरेट्स हिज स्टोरी. He says that I was always used to do this, used to do that. तो I would be a constant narrator. ठीक है ना, वहां पे narrator होगा कोई, ठीक है. Who would narrate the story? Who would tell you the story? जो बैकग्राउंड में आवाज आती है ना, the voice in the background that plays in the film is the narrator, is the voice of a narrator. तो वो बैकग्राउंड वॉइस नहीं होगा तो फिर यहाँ पे दिक्कत हो जाएगी, ठीक है. That is the difference between A and D. Descriptive means that he is only describing. He is not narrating. Okay, most of the time narration is first person. That means अपनी कहानी बता रहा होगा. Done?
So एक बार first question थोड़ा सा.
First question.
So I was confused between A and B options.
A and B.
And I
हाँ,
marked
तो
the
यहाँ
wrong.
पे मैंने बता दिया ना कि treats a partner. Partner is a
हाँ
most
सर, वो
important part of the.
सर बट उसकी बिहेवियरल टेंडेंसीज तो मतलब सब जगह थी ना, ऑफिस में मतलब पार्टनर, तो वो नहीं हो सकता मतलब.
ठीक है, बिहेवियरल टेंडेंसीज में ले लूं, पर किसके ऊपर जा रहा है? ठीक है, द वे इन विच अ पैसिव एग्रेसिव, द वे, द बिहेवियरल टेंडेंसी. सो हियर द सब्जेक्ट एंड ऑब्जेक्ट बोथ आर प्रेजेंट. जिसके ऊपर किया जा रहा है और जो कर रहा है, ठीक है. और यहाँ पे सारे all the things have been mentioned in relation to the partner here. Understood? बोलो.
ओके.
ठीक है ना, देख लो तुम्हारे सामने दिया हुआ है. आस्क योरसेल्फ. ठीक है, यहाँ पे देखो, he uses vague language to send back the partner. He withholds information, has hidden agenda. किसके खिलाफ रहेगा? पार्टनर के खिलाफ रहेगा, ठीक है ना. Blames on his partner, again partner, ठीक है. By the partner. So why would someone come so frequently in the passage if he is not the part? ठीक है ना, if the entity is not the part, not he, right? समझ में आ गया?
ओके ओके
ठीक है. Okay, let us do passage 3, but before that, do you want to talk about something?
Yes,
Let us take a break. ठीक है ना, कुछ बात करते हैं. बताओ, आज तो मैच है.
सर मैं आपको एक क्वेश्चन भेजा था, वो अब्रॉड.
ठीक है. So this is for the recording, right? In the first option, those who didn't get why A was the broad one, let us see why it was the broad one. Let us see the first sentence. Okay, here they have clearly taken need someone to be the object. So the object is really important here for the answer. समझ में आ गया? This is why I told you कि जो क्रक्स वाला सेंटेंस रहेगा, जो क्रक्स वाला वर्ड रहेगा, वो बताएगा कि कौन सा सही आंसर होता है, कौन सा ब्रॉड आंसर होता है, कौन सा नैरो आंसर होता है. समझ में आ गया तपन?
जी सर, स्पेसिफिक टाइप. यस.
ठीक है ना. तो when
हाँ.
they gave this in the general sentence as we have seen in the pages, right, this would be the answer. ठीक है, क्योंकि उसने generally ये बात कह दी है at the starting, at the outset of the idea that he was discussing, that this is important. ठीक है. ओके, नाउ अब बताओ. Okay, which one was the 5 minutes one? 3 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. हाँ Okay, let's stop now. Okay, so was this an easy read or a difficult one? Easy read or a difficult one? अरे difficult कहाँ था यार? Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So those who have been able to understand the meaning of this, right? Main चीज क्या है? Some people are saying that they couldn't connect the dots. I would tell you why you couldn't connect the dots. But first, I would ask you to answer the first question. ठीक है? The best describes the tone of the passage. Take 1 minute, 2 minutes. I don't care, right? But answer the question correctly. I'm not switching on the time. Take 1 or 2 minutes and let me know about the answer. The first answer came at 147. I would stop at 149. Yes. So let us see. Right. Now I have got answer choices such as A, B, A, A, B, A, B, A, B, right? Okay. Let us see. Derogatory, it was not, right? Derogatory means that he is talking viciously about the government. बेइज्जती करेगा, ठीक है? Derogatory means that. Okay, he would be making fun of the government, not in a light way. It is out. Critical is. Why won't it be critical? Let me know why won't it be critical? Critical क्यों नहीं हो सकता? कोई है जो बता सके? Critical क्यों नहीं होगा?
सर बिकॉज कॉशनरी गिवन है वो ज्यादा सिंपल है क्रिटिकल से.
अच्छा, cautionary given है, that is more simple. Critical, okay.
सर क्रिटिकल में उसमें वो डिवाइस करता दोनों चीजों को कि मतलब पॉजिटिव्स क्या है नेगेटिव्स क्या है या
नहीं
फिर
नहीं नहीं, क्रिटिकल तो नेगेटिव भी होता है एक मीनिंग तो इसका. दिखा दूं, ये देखो. Expressing adverse or disapproving comments or judgments.
मतलब सर क्रिटिकल में वो कंपेयर करता है ना पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव्स को.
कहाँ कर रहा है?
नहीं सर
Critical
यहाँ
में
नहीं कर रहा ना.
That is different, that is different. ठीक है ना? मेन चीज ये है, क्रिटिकल क्यों नहीं होगा वो अपने को देखना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? क्रिटिकल तब होता. कॉशनरी, cautionary means that he is skeptical about something, right? He has not been skeptical. Cautionary का मतलब यही होता है ना, or anything else. Let us see the exact meaning of cautionary. Serving as a warning. ठीक है? Okay. तो क्या उसने warning दी है? Right, it is pretty extreme. It is pretty extreme. That is why I would not choose cautionary. ठीक है, ज्यादा ही skeptical हो जाता है. Okay. So I would have been crossed between B and D. ठीक है? Sarcastic and critical. Now I would have to choose. This is relevant to the light mood. देखते हैं what represents sarcastic in the passage, right? Okay. यहां देखो, do you think this statement is serious? Okay, let us see this statement. Do you think he is serious about this statement? वो सही में कह रहा है क्या ये? No, right? How thoughtful. He was against this. ठीक है? तो you would find such ironical statements, right? Such ironical statements or paradoxical statements in each of the passage, which is, अब यहाँ पे क्या है? How thoughtful is a bit of, ठीक है? He is making comments, right? He is making comments on certain, right? Okay, and having fun. That is what I want to tell you about, right? So the difference between critical means being derogatory about someone, right? Demeaning about someone, right? Or derogatory about someone. Derogatory means that you are showing them down. Okay, okay. यहाँ पे आपका intent गलत होता है. Critical means I do not like this. ठीक है? ठीक है? Making them to feel down is derogatory. Critical means I don't like this. It might be wrong. Okay. Critical and sarcastic के बीच में फर्क ये होगा कि he has used the ironical statement such as which he didn't mean, which he didn't really mean, right? In funny way, right? How thoughtful. ठीक है ना? This is not derogatory. How thoughtful, for example, right? दूसरे भी होंगे, तुमको मिल जाएंगे यहाँ पे. If you would find, right? Is anyone surprised? He is asking questions also. Is anyone surprised? Okay. So these are the options. You have to find other examples like this in the passage. Okay, on your own. ठीक है? हाँ, mockery would be one. ठीक है? This would be sarcastic. This would be a clue of sarcastic passages. ठीक है? Not a critical passages. समझ में आ गया? Though he has used critical language. यहाँ पे वरी के बाद में उसने critical language use की है. ये देखो. Since Woodward, Wordstein and Watergate journalism schools have taught students their job is not interesting, entertaining and possibly even amusing, but rather in their role as a subgenre of social worker to get to the bottom of crisis and conspiracies. ये बोल रहा है कि सारे स्टूडेंट्स को यहाँ पहुंचना, बॉटम ऑफ क्राइसिस एंड कॉन्स्पिरेसीज के बॉटम तक पहुंचना सिखा दिया है, तो वो ये सब यही सब सीखते रहेंगे. ठीक है? इट इज क्रिटिकल बट नॉट इन द टोटलिटी. चलो, which one of these is not a characteristic of various news stories discussed by the author? Which kind of question is this? सबसे पहले तो ये बात आती है, which kind of question is this? हाँ, first of all, did you understand the meanings of all these tones? First of all, did you understand the meaning of all these tones? Anyone who didn't?
सर यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन था कि कॉशनरी हम कब बोल सकते थे इस
एक्सट्रीम
पैसेज को?
ठीक है, जब स्केप्टिसिज्म एक्सट्रीम पर पहुंच जाए. ठीक है, यहाँ पे स्केप्टिसिज्म नहीं था, ये अपने को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा कि यार ये चीज हो रही है, वो चीज हो रही है. कॉशनरी तब होता है, कॉशनरी इज अ टोन यूज्ड इन इंस्टेंसेस लाइक कि कोई जैसे डैम फटने वाला है. ठीक है ना? डैम फटने वाला है, तो दैट इज कॉशनरी.
ओके, ठीक है सर.
ठीक है, बहुत ज्यादा
लाइक एग्जांपल क्लाइमेट चेंज की अगर बात करें, फॉर अगर कुछ ऐसा आता है इसके बारे में कुछ,
इट माइट बी कॉशनरी, इट माइट बी कॉशनरी. ठीक है? derogatory means that he is making fun of someone to show them down. ठीक है ना? To show them down, to make them feel down, right? That is derogatory. Okay, for example, we make derogatory comments about blacks. Okay, we call them black dog. Not me, but you. Okay, so people might make derogatory comments about people who are black, right? Okay, so people in Delhi used to have derogatory remarks about northeastern people, right? They called them Chinese. Okay, they called them with this word, right? It is a punishable offense now. You would be jailed for 6 months, or you would have to pay 5,000 fine if you do that. Okay, so that is derogatory. I hope you understood the meaning. Okay, yes, I did for Vidyavan. I use the derogatory term for Vidyavan. ठीक है ना? Okay, so the line of derogatory is really thin. You cannot call a fat person these days. Okay, second question. Which kind of question is this? Okay, is it an inference question, not a characteristics of various news stories discussed by the author? Okay, yes, it is an inference question on the basis of the options. I can say that it is an inference question. ठीक है, करना चाहोगे नहीं करना चाहोगे? Would you be able to? Would you want to do it? Would you be willing to do it? ठीक है, let us try. Let us try. Since it is an inference question, I won't be giving you the time. Or do you want the time to do it? Timer चलाऊं? Okay, I'm using the timer now. ठीक है, people are saying that they want to use the timer. ठीक है, let us see. इसको मुझे minimize करना पड़ेगा. I'm using this timer. ठीक है ना? So I'm giving you 1.5 minutes. Okay. Fine. Yes. Thirty seconds more. Let me know. Let us do the question together. Which one of these is not a characteristics of various news stories discussed by the author? Pehla, what would be the first thought procedure, and where do I need to go to answer
स्क्रीन
this
नहीं आ रही
question?
आपकी.
अच्छा, रुक जाओ. Where do we need to go to answer this question?
Last paragraph.
Okay, last paragraph. ठीक है. Characteristics of various news stories discussed by the author. Yes. Various news stories discussed by the author. We have to go to the various news stories. Okay. Let us see. Let us see. We have to go to the various. Okay. The one who has joined, we are doing second one. Okay. The answer for the first one was sarcastic. Okay. Now, here we need to go. These not a characteristic of various news. Now here he is asking about characteristics of various news. You need to go to the crux of this root of this question to reach to the answer. So where has it been mentioned? Where has it been mentioned? Let us see. Okay. Last paragraph. What was he asking? Various news stories, right? So news stories have been mentioned here. Woodward, Bernstein, Watergate, journalism. Schools. इसी के बारे में पूछ रहा था ना, बार बार भूल जा रहा हूँ. Let me see. क्या है? Various news stories discussed by the author. Which one of these is not a characteristic of various news stories? Yeah, news stories तो यही है ना. Where are the news stories? CBC Ottawa radio outlet is helping. Okay, these are not news stories, these are campaigns. CBC Ottawa is a campaign. Another example of the great. Okay, CBC Ottawa is a campaign. Radio outlet is spring out by signing up. Okay, Great Canadian Anti-Crusade, another campaign. So I think when I looked at all the data, I think that this would be the journalism that we were talking about. Okay, if you do not know the meaning of these names, you can skip this question. ठीक है ना? Watergate से मुझे पता चला कि this is talking about the news of different kinds, right? Watergate is, we have talked about Coalgate, right? These are scams. Scams are named with gates, so they would provide you with certain clues. ठीक है ना? चलो. So let us move to the question. Okay. They arise out of journalists' need to be entertaining. Okay. They deal with issues that the author considers trivial. They are a result of practices taught in journalism schools. They portray issues as crises. I can say that C is wrong. Why is C wrong? यहाँ पे पढ़ोगे तो you would have to reiterate this. ठीक है ना? They had said that since journalism schools have taught students their job to be interesting, entertaining, and possibly even amusing, but rather in their role as a subgenre of social worker. ठीक है? To get to the bottom of crisis and conspiracies. Okay, this was not serious. This was not serious. These crises and conspiracies are not serious. You're talking about salt. What business does government has and what business does media agencies have to determine the salt of the people? Batao. Okay. The salt used by the people. Okay, camping site पे कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम लोग camping site पे, right? So this was all non-serious. So we can say that the arise of a journalist need to be entertaining. This is one part. ठीक है? एक might be the answer. Which answers can we eliminate here? कौन से answers eliminate करें? बता दो जल्दी. कौन से आंसर एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे? बाकी सब कर सकते हैं, राइट? They portray issues as crisis? No. What is issues as crisis? This is absurd. ठीक है ना? Issues as crisis क्या का मतलब क्या होता है? Absurd. ठीक है? They are a result of practices taught in journalism schools. क्या पूछा क्या हुआ है? What has been asked here? One of these is not a characteristics of various news stories. News stories characteristics. They are the result of practices taught. This is not talking about the characteristics. This is why the root of the question is really important. They deal with issues that author considers trivial. Okay, author considers trivial. They arise out of journalistic need to be entertaining. I do not know that whether the author considers them trivial or not. This is not a characteristics of various news stories. It might be correct, right? B and C might be correct. They have been given in the passage, but they have been given as a distortion to the right answer, right? So they won't be the correct one. And when we are talking about the characteristics only, A would be the right answer. These steps are again and again given, and क्योंकि तुम, because you do not choose, you do not look at the root of the question, that is, he is asking about the characteristics, you make the mistake of choosing the wrong answer or getting confused. Has it happened with you? Let me know. Has it happened with you? अगर अभी तक नहीं देखा ना तो फिर have a look. Go and have a look that they have mentioned something in root in which you couldn't reach to the answer. ठीक है, चलो. Let us move to the third question. Okay, inferred from the passage. Okay. Suitable title for the passage. Which one would you like to do first? Third one skip है या doable है? What is the level of the third one? Okay, let us skip 3 for now, because this is an inference question. We do not know whether it would be an easy one, a medium one, or a difficult one. 90% of time it would be a difficult, medium to difficult one. ठीक है, medium भी बहुत कम time होता है. Around 60% times it would be a difficult one. Okay, fourth one. Which of the following would be a suitable title for the passage? This is difficult. Fourth one is difficult. Fourth one is difficult. Absolutely difficult. Okay. So if I would have given the chance, right, to you for skipping or doing this question, what would have been after you have done this question, right? I'm asking this question, whether you would have done it or not. Right? They should have been skipped because the options are really, really, really close. Okay, na? The options are really, really close. But if you know the tone here, you could have used the tone here. You could have reached to the answer. ठीक है? अब यहाँ पे क्या use कर रहा था? He had a sarcastic tone. Right? So in the sarcastic tones, the passages with sarcastic tones, the topic or the title would also be sarcastic. Understood? ठीक है? So which should be the answer now? Which should be the answer now? Which one should be the answer now? I want everyone's answer. I've got 2 right answers. Okay. A, what is worrying the news media? Fine. Close. Alarming news stories. Okay. Major issues in Canada today. Okay. How to deal with trivial news stories. But now, when I choose, right, when I choose between the prospective options, major issues in Canada today talks about Canada only, because Canada has come again and again. In the scenario, I would choose C over A. A is also good, right? I do not think that it is not good, but it is talking about news media as a whole. We were talking about Canada only. And also, all of it was not news media. Right? All of it was not news media. Alarming news stories? No, we were not talking about news stories. Only in the last paragraph, we talked about news story, how to deal in trivial news stories. Okay. He only talked about how to deal with it in the last sentence or the last few sentences. So we cannot say it is the story. Understood? So this was narrow. D was narrow. This was exactly the correct one. C, alarming news stories. This was broad because it is talking about the news media as a whole. Alarming news story. We were not talking about news stories only, right? So this is narrow. Understood? बता दो, न्यूज स्टोरीज के अलावा भी किसी के बारे में बात कर रहे थे क्या? We were talking about radios. We were talking about crusades, right? Canadian salt use, Statistics Canada survey. This is not news agencies, right? ए सी से ए कैसे, समझ में नहीं आया मुझे. ए सी से ए को कैसे हेलमेट किया? Oh, A has been eliminated because we were not talking about, okay, we were not talking about news media as a whole. ठीक है, और हम न्यूज मीडिया के बारे में बात भी नहीं कर रहे थे. इस स्टैटिस्टिक्स यहाँ पे देखो ना, सेकंड वाले में. Let us see in the second paragraph. Another example, the Great Canadian Anti-Salt Crusade. The subject here is the crusade, not talking about media. Statistics Canada survey of Canadian salt use. This is not a news media agencies. We get no clue that it is a news media agency. Right, CBC Ottawa Radio's outlet. It isn't a news media agency. I do not know. Right, TV ads. I do not know. Okay, all these are talking about the issues of Canada rather than other things. Okay, so on the basis of this, you can say that there are certain broad options, there are certain narrow options, and in those, this is only talking about the issues of Canada rather than news media, rather than news stories, rather than trivial news stories. Understood? ठीक है, issues की बात हो रही है and Canada की बात हो रही है, ज़्यादा specific है. ठीक है, on the basis of these, and also goes with the sarcastic tone. On the basis of these reasons, I can say that मेरे पास 3 reasons हो गए, C हो गया. है ना? चलो, third one. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage? A. Can you say A can be inferred? Bolo. We would go step by step. Okay, we have to go somewhere. We have to check somewhere, right? Do not eliminate without checking. If you are not sure, right? You can eliminate if you have seen all the topics. Now, journalism schools have taught students their job is not interesting, entertaining, is not to be interesting, entertaining, and possibly even amusing, but rather in their role as a subgenre of social worker to get to the bottom of crises and conspiracies. So their job is not to be interesting, entertaining, and possibly even amusing. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है? Let us see. Woodward, Bernstein, Watergate are all names related to some conspiracy. Okay, how can I say that? I cannot say that, right? He was making fun of them by using these names, but I cannot say that there are some conspiracies, right? Okay. The author supports the Canadian government's efforts to bring people back to campsites. He doesn't. This is absolutely wrong. This is absolutely correct. Okay, I think I have forgotten the question. Let me read the question again. Cannot be inferred. Okay, cannot be inferred. Fine. The author supports the Canadian government's efforts to bring people back to campsites. Okay. The author recommends not paying too much attention to news stories such as those discussed in the passage. Canadians' intake of salt is high and it carries certain risks. Okay. Which one would be the cannot be inferred? Hmm. Okay. The author supports the Canadian government effort. This is absolutely opposite, and I have reasons to believe, facts to believe that this is the opposite one. Right? Understood? These are the opposite one. I have reasons to believe that these are the opposite one. Fine. The author supports the Canadian government's efforts to bring people back to the campsites. Right? Okay. He was mocking them. Let us see. He was mocking them by saying this. Okay, in the last sentence also, I can say that these crises and conspiracies are being given. If you are going to do around, he has made it sure that in the last sentence, he was not talking about them in seriousness, right? So B would be the right answer here. Okay, even if we cannot get to A, C, and D, we can easily eliminate this on the basis of the factual information. If you can do that, if you can do that on the basis of outright information, then you are quite good to go with the inference question. It was an easy one. It was an easy one. ठीक है? ठीक है? Yeah, how thoughtful also makes it clear. Okay. Now I think I might have been wrong about second. Second वाले में क्या choose किया था मैंने? Which option did I choose for the second one?
A.
A. They arise out of the need to be entertained. ये choose किया था ना? Did I choose A? ठीक है.
Yes,
If
sir.
I chose A, I was correct. ठीक है. Okay, major issues in Canada. What is worrying the news media? ठीक है. Let us see. Fourth one also. I'm getting a bit confused. Check कर लेते हैं fourth वाला, ठीक है? Because I didn't check the fourth one. ठीक है? And in these type of questions, you should check your answer. ठीक है? एक बारी देख लेते हैं सारे passage से. You should make sure whether your answer, right, conforms with all the passages. ठीक है? All the paragraphs, sorry. All the paragraphs, it conforms with all the paragraphs. देख लेते हैं. Which one confirms? The news story. My favorite news story. This actually was a news story. Was about the noise level in Toronto. ठीक है? He has started with the news story. Apparently, it is getting to the point where, and here I must expect to hear about a imminent hearing impairment. Okay, these are also news stories. Another example, he is talking about news stories. This is what I missed. CB's Ottawa radio outlet is helping out signing 4 persons panel to plain folk. Okay, I bet tub salt. Was it talking about salt? Yes, this was talking about salt. This is also an example of that. Okay, perhaps you heard it seems Canadians aren't camping as much as we used to do. Why are number down? Okay, assured. On the camping crisis. Okay. Its attendant broadcast corporation. Again, a news media is being talked about. So I would like to change my answer to A rather than C. Okay. A rather than C. What is worrying the news media? Because we have been talking about the news media from starting to end. And he had said in the first sentence that my favorite news stories, and this actually was a news story. He is emphasizing on it. So this is why it is important to go through every paragraph and check whether your answer is coming to the conclusion or not, whether the author is emphasizing on it or not. He also talks about this in the last paragraph. Okay, let us see. He is talking about since Woodward's journaling schools have taught students their jobs not to be interesting and all, bottom to the crisis and conspiracies. He is again talking about the media houses. Okay, so we would have to confine ourselves to the news media rather than major issues in Canada today. Understood? Batao. Bolo, many people might have got sad after getting their answers wrong. So that is why I had told you that this is a difficult question. I too had to check the answer again. Okay. How to deal was given in only the last sentence, and alarming news stories. Alarming, I don't know what is the meaning of alarming here. Right, between A and C, A would be the right answer. Okay, would you like to do the next passage? How many questions are there in the next passage? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Would you like to do the next passage? Let me know. Okay, so this is the important one. So I would end the class after this. Okay, na? So George Orwell's Animal Farm. Okay. Now let me tell you about some experiences of those who went to an interview in IIMs. Okay. Rather the famous IIMs or the big IIMs. Okay. Whenever they took the name of this book, they were asked questions. Okay. So that is why this is an important RC to be read. Okay. Okay. Even if you have not read the book, you can say that I have read some information on the book, and on the basis of this information, I can say this. Do not say that if you have read a book, if you are claiming that you have read a book in the interview, do not say that you have not read it. You can use its summary to prove that you have read it. Okay. This is a hack that can be used in the interview. Sanmaya, should we proceed? Okay. I'm giving you the time. Okay, this was the 1 minute time, Anna. Yeah. Your timer has started. I would stop this at 4 minutes because you have only 3 questions, right? And the passage length is small.
So मुझे स्क्रीन पर शो नहीं होता है जैसे सिर्फ टाइमर ही शो हो रहा है.
हाँ, तो टाइमर ही शो होता है. मैंने तो ये शेयर कर रखा है ना. आरसी मैंने सबको शेयर कर रखा है. If you want it, let me know. What is your name?
Ayushi.
Oh, just a minute. I've sent it to your WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, this is a difficult one, so I am extending your time. Okay. Do you need more time? Let me know. Have you understood it? Okay. Okay, fine. So let us move to the passage one. Really important one, right? So, sorry, the question one. All of the following would be in line with Orwell's views except.
Sir, screen change नहीं हुई.
अच्छा. I hope it is visible now. ये तो Google वाली है. Yeah, I hope this is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. First of all, let us do the second question. Not displayed by the author in the passage. Which of the following tones? Let me know.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we have to check each and everything, right? We have to check each and everything. Okay. Now, tones, that means in different parts. Was he being objective? What is the meaning of objective? What is the meaning of objective? Anyone who can tell me, what is the meaning of objective? No. Objective means that he is rational in his approach. That means he is not biased. Right? Not biased. Right? Not biased towards anyone. He was objective. Understood? Yes, he can be factual. It might mean that he was factual. Not biased towards anyone. He was not portraying someone in good light. Okay. And the other one in bad light. Fine. Okay. He was rationalistic. Now, objective has been done. Right? Objective has been taken care of. Let us have a look at the meaning of objective. To be sure. Yes, not influenced by your own personal feeling, considering only facts. I was right. Okay. To be sure, I have checked the answer. Right. So this has been given. Right. Narrative, descriptive or critical. He was descriptive in certain parts. He was describing. Was he or was he not? We have to check. Let us see. We have to check whether he was descriptive or not. Has he been descriptive in certain parts? Let us see. Yes, he has been describing us, right? He has been describing to us two pigs emerged as leaders and Napoleon and Snowball. Now you might have understood what the difference between factual and descriptive is. What is descriptive? That the author describes the meaning of something is included in descriptive, that what is, for example, he is going outside the book here and he is telling us who was Napoleon, right? From here, Napoleon then proceeded, Napoleon, Snowball represents Trotsky and Napoleon represents Stalin. Now this is descriptive, right? He is making us understand what this means. Okay, so this is descriptive. Factual would be he is giving you just the facts. Understood? Understood? किया का problem था ना ये? Hello? ठीक है? Okay. So descriptive is out because it has been displayed. Objective is out, narrative and critical. Now the problem with me would be critical has two meanings. One was giving negative points about someone. Second was giving both positive and negative and not leaning towards anything else. One-sided, that means, right? Okay. Now, what is narrative? Narrative means that he is telling a story. So has he been narrative? Has he been narrative? Was he telling a story? Yes, he was telling a story of the pigs or the story that has been given in George Orwell's book. So narrative has been included. Why critical won't be included? Right? Why critical won't be included? Because critical has been taken here as writing a critique. A critique is the positive and negative both points of a written piece or a performance or etc. Right? That is why critical won't be the answer. If you would be in a, ठीक है, यहाँ पे sure हो गया अगर, if you would be sure in the exam, ठीक है, about all the three options, then you can take the meaning of critical in that sense. अगर वहाँ पे possible ना हो पाए critical का देखना, तो you would have to skip this. ठीक है, critical में हमेशा people might have confusion. ठीक है, okay. Now let us do the first one. हाँ.
So what happens in these type of questions? What happens? Like we have a passage in which the author is describing the work of some other author, right? Like the author here is describing the work of George Orwell, and Orwell is being critical in his writings. He is being critical of the state communism. So I get confused sometimes. That is why I eliminated the D option. B and C were very easy to eliminate. I got confused between A and D, and I eliminated D because I did not see it properly that he's talking about the author. He's not talking about George Orwell. And this is one mistake which I have made many times. So, sir, do you have any advice on how to avoid this mistake?
In the tone questions or in other questions too?
In other questions too, where the author is talking about the work of some other author. I often do this mistake where he is. Okay. The question
going back to the passage, and to remove this habit, right, you should have the subjects or crux of all the paragraphs, right? First of all, we have seen many questions which have which have been added by that, right? We have been added by the information of all the crux. You need to notice the tone while reading. You need to build this habit, right? You need to build this habit. Okay. If you are not being able to do that, go back to the passage and notice the tone afterwards when you would be noticing the crux too. Right? We can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir. Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना?
हाँ.
And the other problem that you are getting is that because you do not check your final answer. ठीक है ना? Several time it becomes too hectic to check the final answer, but in difficult question you should. In difficult question you should. Right? In easy questions you can go to the next question without checking the final answer. Understood? Now, the first question and the third question left. Which one would you like to do first? Third or first? Third or the first? Third one. Okay. Two people have said that they would be doing the third one. Right. Let us do the third one. Yeah, that is easy. That is easy. Right. Do the third one. I'm giving you 2 minutes time. Okay. Let us start with this. I think you should take only 1 minute or 1.5 minutes for this, not more than that. Well, I have already got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That is the answer. Now let us move to the answer. Okay, since one of us wants to go. Okay, third one, fourth passage, right? Most of you have chosen B and B is the answer, right? This was easy, right? So answers have started getting easy. Okay, answers have started getting easy. Okay, first one. This is the last question for this session. Let us see. Giving you 2 minutes. Why B and not A? I have to look at that. CBDA. Represent the correct sequence because it is not the correct sequence. A is not the correct sequence. You have to read the story again to answer that. Right? It is not the correct sequence. Okay. Yeah. Done. Let us move to the question now. Right. Let us move to the question now. Just a second. Okay, I hope it is visible. I hope it is visible. Now, literature which expresses disillusionment about the Soviet Union is non-existent. The Soviet Union is viewed with extreme emotions by the British. Okay. Literature which expresses disillusionment about non-existence. Yes. Disillusionment about. Yes. Yes. Literature which expresses disillusionment about the Soviet Union is not. Okay. Fine. The Soviet Union is viewed with extreme emotions by the British, who either disapprove of it without knowledge or totally admire it. The rich are able to exploit the proletariat mainly because proletariat is not aware of its own strength. Okay. The capitalists are generally people who are involved in gratifying their self and no. I think C and D can be easily eliminated, right? Because they have been given. I think C and D can be easily eliminated because they have been given, right? We have all seen that. Now, between A and B, the Soviet Union is viewed, we have to check, right? We have to check. Literature which expresses disillusionment about the Soviet Union is non-existent. Let us check this one first. Okay, Soviet Union. Okay, to discredit the Soviet Union system by showing that inhumanity and sliding back from ideals he valued. There exists in England no literature of disillusionment with the Soviet Union. Almost no literature of disillusionment with the Soviet Union. Okay, let us check whether this option would be correct or not. Literature which expresses disillusionment about the Soviet Union is non-existent. Can we say that it is non-existent? There is a problem here. Now let us check the B option. The Soviet Union is viewed with extreme emotions by the British, who either disapprove of it without knowledge or totally admire it. Let us see. Okay, the basic synopsis is this: old major and whatever else. Only the other. Where has it been given? Share of. Okay, yes. Ignorant disapproval or with uncritical administration. What is ignorant disapproval? Ignorant means they do not know about it, right? Without knowing, they are disapproving of it. With uncritical admiration. Uncritical admiration, that means they are not critical about it. They are not talking about the positive and negative points and then deciding their answers, right? That is a critical view. Okay. Now B. A talks about Soviet Union is not in existence, in that he has said that almost non-existent, right? And B option has been given. You can take that B option has been given. So A would be the right answer for the first one. Any questions here? Right.
Sir, sir, he has talked about the literature, the non-existent in England only. So can we for that there would be places other than
we
England?
we can say that this is broad.
Yes.
Right, we can say that this is broad. Okay. We can say that he has talked with in context with England also. Right. I have eliminated it on the basis of almost, because he is saying that is non-existent. Almost is important. Okay. The other clue would be of England. Yes, that would be of England. Right. Understood? So A would be the right answer on the basis of both these points. Right. That is all for today. Not today, we would meet in the evening, right? There is one passage that I would need to discuss with you. Okay. In the second session. Which one was this? About Hitler and all. Okay. This was this.
सर अगर
also
आधे
needs
घंटे
to
के
be
अंदर हो जाता है सर, दूसरा वाला कर लें if you have time.
नहीं, there are two passages that I need to discuss. ठीक है?
Okay.
तो उस पे हमको पता चलेगा कि distinctions between tones क्या है. ठीक है, we would
Okay.
get to know what is the distinction between some tones. जैसे हमको factual और descriptive के बीच में पता चला है थोड़ा बहुत, ठीक है ना?
हाँ 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 हाँ
That is why I
सर
have
दूसरे
taken these
सेशन का
exams.
टाइमिंग क्या होगा, लाइक जो इसी सेशन को जो हम
5
जो
बजे लेते हैं।
दोबारा 5 से, हाँ सर 1-1.5 घंटे में हो जाना चाहिए क्या?
हाँ,
ठीक है सर, ठीक है,
ठीक है ना? ओके
ठीक है, ओके, मिलते हैं सर, बाय।
ओके
सर
हाँ,
सर so critical is not always negative ना, मतलब पॉजिटिव वो डिपेंड
क्रिटिकल
करता है
के
पैसेज
दो
के
मीनिंग
कॉन्टेक्स्ट
होते
पे।
हैं, देयर आर 2 मीनिंग्स ऑफ क्रिटिकल, राइट? इट माइट बी नेगेटिव और इट माइट बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द पॉजिटिव्स एंड नेगेटिव्स ऑफ अ सब्जेक्ट और टॉपिक और अ परफॉर्मेंस, ठीक है? मेनली क्रिटिकल जो है परफॉर्मेंस के लिए यूज किया जाता है। स्पोर्ट्स पेपर खोलो, ठीक है, दे वुड बी टॉकिंग अबाउट अ पर्सन, दे वुड बी टॉकिंग अबाउट अ क्रिकेटर, हिज स्टाइल एंड ऑल। उसमें क्या कहते हैं कि देयर आर सर्टेन ड्रॉबैक्स इन हिज स्टाइल, राइट? हैव यू सीन दैट?
यस सर,
हेलो, देखा है ना?
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
ठीक है, दैट इज अ क्रिटिक, ठीक है, जो वो लिख रहा है, द वन हु इज राइटिंग, एंड दैट इज अ क्रिटिकल पीस ऑफ राइटिंग। समझ में आ गया?
तो सर ओपिनियनेटेड भी बहुत नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव हो सकता है, बट ओपिनियनेटेड मतलब फैक्चुअल नहीं होगा, वैसा है क्या कुछ कि क्रिटिक
अरे
में वो
उसमें
एक्चुअली?
ओपिनियनेटेड इसलिए नहीं लिया क्योंकि क्रिटिकल उसमें नेगेटिव सेंस
नहीं,
वाला
इन
मीनिंग
जनरल
है।
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, इन जनरल मतलब अगर
हाँ,
कुछ ऐसा
पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव
कंफ्यूजिंग
दोनों
आ
हो
गया।
सकते हैं, ठीक है, बट उसमें एक तरफ लीनिंग होगा, ही वुड बी लीनिंग टुवर्ड्स वन व्हेन वी आर कंसीडरिंग द ओपिनियनेटेड टोन,
बट इन
राइट?
क्रिटिकल इट वुड बी मतलब नॉन
ही
बायस्ड
माइट
टाइप
नॉट बी
होगा।
लीनिंग, ही माइट नॉट बी लीनिंग,
अच्छा,
ठीक है, बोथ आर द ओपिनियंस ऑफ हिज एंड ही माइट नॉट बी लीनिंग, ठीक है?
ओ ओ
चलो,
राइट।
डन। I hope you have understood the tones pretty well. Okay, I think everyone has gone.